Good morning, guys, and welcome to Cactus Craze. Well, it's Monday morning, and we're going to get started on this awesome week. I know everyone there is excited. I know you're all at home watching on this. It's a little bit different because usually we're all here for kids camp. We do all sorts of fun things here. We do singing, we do crafts, we do stories, we do games. But you know what's really cool? You're going to get to do all of that this week too, just at home in your living rooms. So I'm glad you're all here. Faith's here with me. Are you going to have fun this week, Faith? You are. This is going to be an amazing week, and I'm glad you guys have all been able to join us. So you know what? There's probably 200 or 300 kids that are watching this at home just like you. So even though you may be all by yourself, or maybe just with your mom or dad or your brothers and sisters, there's all sorts of kids all around that are watching and doing this at the same time. So we are going to have fun this week. Like I said before, the theme is Cactus Craze. And you know what's really cool? I think every one of you guys, if you've got your box, you know another thing I heard that everyone got? A little cactus. A real cactus. Do you have one there? You do? That's amazing. You know what? I had a cactus too, but I dropped it. And you know what the worst part of that was? I caught it. Ow! That hurt, let me tell you. So don't drop it. Don't grab it from the top. Grab it on the pot and you will be fine. So, we're going to keep going here now. If you've got your cactus, we're all set to move on. What we're going to do now is, since this is the first day and we're going to be going all week, you guys are going to join us at 9:30 every morning and we're going to have fun. We're going to be able to go through, like I said before, some of the crafts and some of the stories. But it's going to be a fun time for all of us. So, the theme for today is, I don't know if I remember the theme, Faith. Do you remember what it was? You don't. I wonder, I could look, I have some notes because I need to follow the instructions. That's the theme for today, following the instructions. So we're all going to follow the instructions. Pastor Julia is going to tell us a little bit about it. But right now, we are going to have fun, and we are going to sing some songs. You guys going to join us? You going to join us, Faith? Here we go. Let's have some fun.
Good morning, everybody. Why don't you stand up on your feet? We're going to sing some songs. Yeah, we're all in this together and we're having fun. We're here to spread the love of God to everyone. Gonna get a little crazy and a little wild. Here we go now, come give it a try. Move it to the left now. Move it to the right. Find someone you don't know and give them a high five. Stomp your feet loud. Wave your hands up high. Find somebody else now. Give them a high five. Oh, 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 your feet louder. Raise your hands up high. Find somebody else now. Give them a high five. Oh, 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 oh.
So good. Come on, we're going to teach you some new songs this week. There's lots of songs you know, but we want you to sing along. You got the words on the screen. Come on, here we go. You spoke. You spoke one word and the dark became light. I believe it, yeah. You spoke my name and my heart came to life. I believe it, yeah. I wanna sing about it, I wanna scream and shout it. I'm gonna sing it right now at the top of my lungs. I sing with all of my heart, I will praise you. God, you are everything. You're the reason that I lift my voice at the top of my lungs. I sing with all of my heart, I will praise you. God, you are everything. You're the reason that I lift my voice at the top of my lungs. Yeah, at the top of my lungs. Oh, come on, sing this out. You're all I want. You're all I need every day of my life. I believe it, yeah. And you're all I need, always here by my side. I believe it, yeah. I wanna sing about it, I wanna scream and shout it. I'm gonna sing it right now at the top of my lungs. I'll sing with all of my heart, I will praise you. God, you are everything. You're the reason that I lift my voice at the top of my lungs. I'll sing with all of my heart, I will praise you. God, you are everything. You're the reason that I lift my voice at the top of my lungs. Oh, at the top of my lungs. Oh, come on, I'm gonna scream it. I wanna hear you. I'm gonna scream it, oh, I'm gonna shout it. I'm gonna sing it out at the top of my lungs. I'm gonna scream it, oh, I'm gonna shout it. I'm gonna sing it out at the top of my lungs. I sing with all of my heart, I will praise you. God, you are everything. You're the reason that I lift my voice at the top of my lungs. I sing with all of my heart, I will praise you. God, you are everything. You're the reason that I lift my voice at the top of my lungs. I sing with all of my heart, I will praise you. God, you are everything. You're the reason that I lift my voice at the top of my lungs. Yeah, at the top of my lungs. Oh, at the top of my lungs. So good, so good. Come on, we got one more for you this morning. Oh, this is so good. Here we go. I'll sing this out. I'm reading my B-I-B-L-E. I'm reading my B-I-B-L-E, and this is what it says to me. It tells me that I'm never, ever alone. I'm learning how J-E-S-U-S came down to earth and gave his best. Without a doubt, the best friend you'll ever know. Our God knows exactly what I need, so I'll remember this. Let's go When you ask, he cares. When you seek, he's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. When you ask, he cares. When you seek, he's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. Oh, oh. Oh, come on, sing it again. I'm reading my Bible. This is what it says to me. Tells me that I'm never ever alone. I'm learning how Jesus came down to earth and gave his best. Without a doubt, the best friend you'll ever know. Our God knows exactly what I need. So I'll remember this. Let's go. When you ask, he cares. When you seek, he's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. When you ask, he cares. And when you seek, he's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. Oh, oh. When you ask, he cares. When you seek, he's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. And when you ask, he cares. And when you seek, he's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. Come on, our God knows exactly what I need. So I'll remember this. Let's go. When you ask, he cares. When you seek, he's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. When you ask, he cares. When you seek, he's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. Oh, oh. He opens up the door. He opens up the door. God opens up the door. Oh. So good. Can't wait to worship with you again tomorrow morning. Come on, let's head to this morning's lesson.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Cactus Craze. It's the start of a great week. It is going to be so fun. We're going to have an awesome time. Well, I'm Pastor Julia, and I'm going to be here all week with different things for you to do, as well as lots of my friends who are going to be here to help too. So we want to start with today, follow the instructions. That's our theme for today. And I'm hoping that most of you got to register for Kids Camp, because if you got to register, you got one of our cool boxes. I want to show you what's in the box. This is what it looks like. Now, if you didn't get this box, don't be too sad, because if you get your mom or dad to call the church, you can call them right away, you can come down this afternoon and pick up one of these boxes as long as we have some left. So you can either go on our website or call the church office and see if you can come pick one up. Well, I want to explain to you, since it's our first day, what's in this box. It says Cactus Craze Kids Camp. What could be in it? I bet you guys already had it open and had a look. Well, inside we have all the crafts that we're going to be doing all week. So there should be a baggie that says Monday, and one that says Tuesday, and then a Wednesday one, and a Thursday one, and you might not have found a Friday one, but that's okay, because you're going to use the box for Friday. So make sure you don't wreck your box. Then also in here is a very cool cactus pin. This I think is my favorite. And a really cool little notebook with a cactus on it. We also have some cactus juice. We couldn't put a snack for every day of the week, but we thought we couldn't pass up cactus juice. It's really kiwi strawberry Kool-Aid. It's a Kool-Aid jammer, but we called it cactus juice. And we have our lizard tongues. It's actually a fruit roll-up, but you watch something for a minute. What if I'm okay to open this? I think I am. Let's see. Watch what happens. Doesn't that look like a lizard tongue? That's why we call them lizard tongues, because there's lizards in the desert. And what else do we have in our box? Oh, we got some cool cactus stickers. And we've got a poster picture at the bottom, which you're actually going to use when you make your diorama, and you're going to glue it in the bottom of your box. So those are some of the things that you have in your box. And you also got a cactus. Now, we had all different kinds of cactuses, so I picked this one. This one has a pretty little white flower on it. Some of them are spiky, some of them are not so spiky, some of them had flowers, some of them didn't, but this is the little cactus that you got. And you also got some instructions as to how to look after your cactus. So we're gonna look at those in a few minutes. But hopefully you got a box, but if you didn't, like I said, you call the church and you can get one of your boxes. Well, I think to start off with this morning, in case you're still a little bit sleepy, we need to have a good game of Simon Says. I was gonna say hide and seek, but don't do hide and seek, because if you hide, I'll never find you. All right, we're gonna play Simon Says. So, up on your feet. Simon says, touch your head. Simon says, touch your shoulders. Simon says, touch your elbow. Simon says, touch your knees. Touch your feet. I got you! You touched your feet, didn't you? Simon didn't say touch your feet. Okay, let's try again. Simon says, touch your head, touch your shoulders. No, don't touch your shoulders. All right, let's try again. Simon says, touch your head. Simon says, touch your belly button. Simon says, touch your nose. Simon says, touch your ears. Simon says, touch your mouth, touch your eyes. I didn't say Simon says touch your eyes. Okay, one more time. Touch your shoulders. Wrong! I didn't say Simon says. Wasn't that a fun game? You need to play that with your mom or dad. That game shows us that we have to follow the instructions. Well, have any of you ever been on a treasure hunt before? Treasure hunts are super fun. And you know what? In our house, my husband, Mr. Rick, he does treasure hunts for presents sometimes, and the kids love them. So what he does is he hides an envelope in the Christmas tree. And usually there's one present for each of them that he hides somewhere in the house, and they don't know about it. So after we've opened all our presents, one of them will say, is there a letter in the tree? And they'll go and look, and they'll find an envelope in the tree. And in the tree, they'll say, he makes up these really good riddles. I can't even remember them. Something like, where the milk is cold and the orange juice is fresh or something. And they know they have to go look in the fridge. So all three of them run to the fridge, open up the fridge, and they find another note. And then this note has more instructions for the treasure hunt. And it'll say where we lay our head to rest. So they all go running up to the bedrooms to see if they can find like a note somewhere in someone's bedroom. And they probably do it about 5 times. And at the very end, there's a present. It's either for the whole family or there's one present for each of them. But it's a really fun treasure hunt. But again, you have to follow the instructions in order to get the prize at the end. So it's really important to follow instructions. Well, let's talk about looking after our cactus that we got in our boxes, or with our boxes. Because we want to make sure our cactus doesn't die, does it? So let's see, I would say we probably shouldn't give it chocolate milk to drink. Do you think? No, cactuses don't like chocolate milk. I like chocolate milk. I actually like when you mix chocolate milk and white milk together. We used to call it swirly milk. That's my favorite. Anyway, you don't want to give swirly milk or chocolate milk to a cactus. I don't think it would like it. It would probably turn brown. What about if we put it in the freezer? Do you think our cactus would like it if we put him in the freezer? I don't think so. Cactuses like hot weather. So don't put your cactus in the freezer. So don't feed it chocolate milk. Don't put it in the freezer. What about if we gave it a bath and you stuck it in the bathtub with lots of bubbles and you had it sitting on the bottom of the tub for hours and hours with lots of bubbles? Do you think that would be good for our cactus? I don't think the cactus would like that either. It does like water, but I don't think you should submerge it in the bathtub because, yeah, I don't think cactuses would do well that. So maybe if we don't do any of those things, we don't give it chocolate milk, we don't stick it in the bottom of the bathtub, and we don't put it in the fridge, then our cactus should do fine, right? But it's not enough just to know the things that you shouldn't do. We need to find out what you should do, what you need to do. Sometimes we just find out the things that we can't do without finding the things that we're supposed to do, and that's not enough, because it wouldn't be enough for our cactus, would it? So I think we better look at the instructions to find out what we are supposed to do. So no chocolate milk, no fridge, and no bath. But let's find out what we should do. So this says, I'm a real cactus. I need lots of sunlight. Well, there's our first thing. So you don't want to put it in the closet. I need lots of sunlight. You want to put in a sunny area and should be watered when the top ½ inch of the soil feels dry. Well, you might need mom or dad to help you with that because it's hard. There's not much soil in these ones. You might need to transplant them. But it's a little bit dry. It might need some water, and you got to be careful of those spikies too, don't you? I probably need to be watered once a week, it says. Okay, well, we could do that. You could water it once a week. So we know what not to do, but we also now know what we should do. So we should give it lots of sunshine, and we should water it at least once a week. So that's important to know, those instructions. Like I said, it's not enough just to know what we shouldn't do. We also have to know what we should do for sure. Well, I have a Bible story that I would like to read to you this morning. Sometimes in the Bible, it's like that cactus. Sometimes we only look at the things that we shouldn't do, like don't steal, don't lie, things like that. But sometimes we forget to look at the things that we're supposed to do because the Bible is very important instructions for us. So I want to read you a Bible story this morning, and this is all about somebody named Naaman. And he had to follow the instructions. So we should find out what happens when he follows the instructions. And this Bible story is found in 2 Kings chapter 5. Now, all the stories in the Bible are true. I call them stories because accounts is kind of a big word for kids. It's just another word for a real story, an account. So I call them stories, but they're not stories like Cinderella. They're real stories that really happened a long time ago. So this one is found, this is my kids' Bible. This one is found in 2 Kings chapter 5. But because I'm going to read it to you this morning, I thought I would read it out of my Bible storybook because sometimes it just makes it a little bit easier to understand. So this is called the helpful servant. Now, while I'm reading this story, I think that it would be good if you guys could help me with something. In this story, it's going to talk about dipping. Now, not dipping an ice cream cone, not double dipping in ranch dressing with your carrot, but dipping in the water. So every time you hear the word dip, I want you to dip down and pretend that you're dipping in the water. Can you do that? Okay, everybody on your feet and try it with me. Are you ready? I'm gonna say, and Naaman had to dip into the water, and I think he's gonna dip 7 times. So you gotta listen for the word dip, all right? So let's have a listen. Naaman was a soldier, but not just any soldier. He was the commander of the whole Syrian army. That's huge. He was a very powerful man, but he was afraid. Why was he afraid if he was a powerful man? Let's see. Naaman, you see, was ill. He wasn't feeling good, and nobody knew how to make him better. That's kind of sad. His skin was covered with sores, and he couldn't feel his fingers or his feet. Everybody felt sorry for him. Even God felt sorry for him too. So God whispered to a little girl who had been captured by Naaman's army and carried away from God's promised land. She worked for Naaman's wife, and one day she said to her mistress, "Back in Israel, where I come from, there lives a man called Elisha, and God uses him to make sick people well. If only Naaman could go and see him." So, before long, the great soldier who had fought against God's people was off to seek help from God's prophet, because he knew maybe this was one way he could get better. But Naaman didn't go alone. He took his servants and his horses and a chariot full of treasure. I wonder what kind of treasure. I wonder if it's like bubblegum and chocolate and... No, it's probably gold coins, I think. He took a chariot full of treasure to reward Elisha in case his cure worked. So Elisha was going to get all this stuff if the cure worked. It was a grand parade, and Naaman expected a grand greeting in return. And when he sent one of his men to knock on Elisha's door, the prophet didn't even come and answer. Instead, the prophet just told his servant to say, "If you want to be well, go dip," oh, there we go, "dip yourself 7 times into the Jordan River." Now, it may be that Naaman was tired and maybe a little bit frustrated. And remember, he wasn't feeling well. Or it may be that maybe he was just proud. But whatever the reason, the prophet's message made him angry. "The Jordan River," he shouted. "It's filthy. I'll throw myself into any river back in Syria, but I'm not going to stick one toe in that Jordan River or take the advice of a man who can't even be bothered to come and meet me." Begging your pardon, sir," mumbled one of Naaman's servants, "but if the prophet had sent you off to do something hard, you would have gone straight away, wouldn't you?" "Well, of course I would," grunted Naaman. "Any soldier would." "Well then, why can't you go and do something easy, like washing in the river? It can't hurt, and it just might work." Naaman sighed. "All right." So he's thinking, you know what? I better follow the instructions. "All right," Naaman sighed, and he led his men to the river. He dipped, here we go, himself twice, down again, but nothing happened. He dunked himself two more times, and another one. How many is that total? 1, 2, 3. That was 4. Okay, it's 4 times. He dunked himself twice more. His skin was as ugly as ever. Twice more he went. "Okay, let's go. This will get us up to 6. And one more. And he came up, and still no cure. Naaman was getting angrier all the time. But he dipped himself once more. Are you ready? And up. When he came up for the 7th time, spluttering and shaking the water from his face, Naaman's men let out a cheer. Woohoo! Naaman opened his eyes and looked at his hands. The sores were gone from all over his body. Naaman dressed and hurried back to Elisha's house. The prophet himself answered the door this time, and Naaman could not contain his joy. "Take this treasure, take all of it," Naaman begged, "for you have saved my life." But Elisha said, No, for it was God, after all, who had healed Naaman, not Elisha. "All right then," said Naaman, scooping up a pile of earth. "Well, let me take this earth with me, so that I can stand on a piece of your land and worship your God too." Elisha nodded and smiled, and God smiled too, for with the little girl and a muddy river, he had turned an enemy into a friend. Well, I got something else here we're going to do to follow some instructions. I'm in the mood for some chocolate pudding. So, let's make some chocolate pudding, shall we? We'll see if we can do this. It shouldn't be very hard. So, you just buy some chocolate pudding at the grocery store. You have to buy the instant kind. And I put it in a container like this, a nice tall one that you can shake. Put it in like that. And we'll see what the instructions say. The instructions say to put in 2 cups of cold milk. Can we do that? I think we can. So I got my milk. Oh, look, brand new. Okay, we'll put the milk in. Try not to make a mess, because I don't want milk all over my stuff. 1. So far, so good. 2. And I didn't quite fill enough, so put a little bit more. There we go. We got the milk in. And it says that you either have to whisk it or shake it up for 2 minutes. That's 120. Well, let me start shaking. We'll see what happens. Let's count to 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And we'll keep going. So I'll keep shaking for a little bit, and we'll see what'll happen. Do you think this will make chocolate pudding? I sure hope it does, because I would really like to have some chocolate pudding. And I like to follow the instructions. Sometimes when I'm baking, though, it doesn't always turn out right. I don't know. Sometimes the instructions aren't right, or sometimes I copy them down wrong. But these ones are on the package, so they should work out okay. I hope I don't get out of breath with all this shaking, then I won't be able to talk to you. Okay, here we go. I feel it getting thicker. I think that means it's gonna turn into chocolate pudding really soon. I think I lost count. I don't know when we're up to 120. Let's count 30. How's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Now, you know what? You gotta make sure that your top's on really tight. Because if it's not, chocolate pudding all over the kitchen. We don't want that, do we? All right, I think we're Good. We'll take the top off. And we'll get some bowls. And we'll pour a little bit into here. Looks like chocolate pudding. And we'll pour some into here. Look at that. And if I just leave it to set for a minute, it will be chocolate pudding. Isn't that fun to make? And that's easy to follow those instructions. You guys could all do that at home. What we'll do is I'm just gonna put these down here so they can set for another minute, and then I'll show you and they'll be good to eat. Well, just like when we followed the instructions for the chocolate pudding, it turned out the same way when Naaman followed the instructions that God gave him, he got healed and he was made better. But when it comes to God, we know we're supposed to follow God's instructions, but what are God's instructions? Would it be to stay in the sunlight and get water once a week? No, I don't think so. I don't think that's the instructions for the cactus, not from God. God gives us lots of instructions in the Bible, but there's one really good one that he says is the most important, more important than anything else. And it's found in Matthew 22, verse 37. And I want to read it to you because it's a good verse. And if you've got a kid's Bible, you look this up, get your highlighter out, and you can highlight it. It says, Jesus replied, now this is Matthew 22, 37 to 40. Jesus replied, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and love him with all your mind. So that just means love him with everything that's in you. This is the first and most important commandment. So this isn't something we're not supposed to do. This is something we're supposed to do. And the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. Everything that's written in the law and the prophets is based on these two commandments. So really what it's saying is the important instructions that we're supposed to remember for God are to love God and to love others. Because when we do that, everything else will work out. Every time we go to do something, if we think, are we loving God by doing this? Or are we loving others? Then you know what? If we try and do both those things, like I said, things will work out. Now sometimes we get mixed up in the middle of the instructions, don't we? Sometimes we can get distracted. Like sometimes if I'm making pudding or baking, sometimes I get distracted and then I'm like, oh, what am I doing? So sometimes things don't work out because we get distracted. At home, we planted some seeds and it said to water them and we got distracted. It didn't quite work. This was parsley. I don't think there's any parsley coming in my house. We tried to plant parsley and we planted chives and I think we planted something else, but they started to come up. They did their part, but we forgot to do our part of the instructions and water them. So I don't have any parsley. So we gotta remember that we gotta keep doing the instructions and not get distracted in the middle. But that's sometimes harder to do. So we're gonna pray that God helps you to follow God's instructions. So I'm gonna pray and we're gonna ask God to help us. But just before I pray, I want to show you a couple things that can help you remember to follow the instructions. You could take a rock and you could paint obey on it, and you could even decorate it. And if you had this on your desk and it said obey, it would help you to remember to obey God's instructions, to love God and to love other people. You could also play red light, green light, because that you have to follow instructions. You could play that with your friends outside this afternoon. Or you could make up a treasure hunt for your family, just like we do at Christmas, and you could send them all over the house looking for something. And that would help you to remember to follow the instructions as well. All those things will. So I'm gonna pray, and I'm gonna pray that you learn to follow God's instructions for your life. Let's pray. Father, I thank you for all the kids this morning. I thank you, Lord, that they're coming to Cactus Craze, and even though we can't come to the building, I thank you that you're here with us. And Father, I just ask that you'd help each one of them to follow your instructions. Help them to have the strength to love you and to love others. And I pray that it would be real evident, that other people would see that in their lives. So Father, I just bless them today. I pray that you give them a good afternoon and help them to remember to always follow your instructions. In Jesus' name, amen. Well, it's time for Fun with Faith. So you're gonna see what's coming up next. Oh, I forgot about the pudding. Let's see if it's set. I think it is. Let's get a spoon. Look at that. Doesn't that make you want pudding? It turned out perfectly. And I even made it in front of you guys. I think you might need some chocolate pudding for lunch. It's delicious. All right, well, you go and have fun with Faith. See you tomorrow.
Good morning. Welcome to a little segment we like to call Fun with Faith. You are joining us on Monday morning. Yes, great Monday morning. And we are about to give you a little challenge that you can do that ties in with the theme, Follow the Instructions. So today we are going to have a paper airplane throwing contest. So we are going to get a couple helpers to come help us in a minute. We're gonna have a little target, and all of the things you see that we're gonna do, you can help and create at home. So if you need help from your parents, just go ahead and ask them. And if you can do it all on your own, that's awesome. So what we're gonna do now is we are going to invite Josh and MM over, and they're gonna come over and we are gonna create paper airplanes. So first of all, how do you make a paper airplane? There's so many different options. So I'm just gonna walk through how to make a pretty simple one, and then you could follow us, or there's tons of videos online that show you how to make paper airplanes. If you wanna make it more challenging, if you're up for a different style, that's great. But if not, you can follow what we're doing. So we're gonna take our paper and we're gonna fold it the long way. Okay. Okay, open it back up. Then we're gonna take the top corner and fold it down to the center line. Okay, good job. And then we're gonna repeat that on this side so that we get kind of like a big triangle at the top. Okay, so this is our first two folds. Awesome. Okay, Faith. You're doing good. Try to follow the directions. All right, next is we're gonna fold this down. So you're gonna almost double fold it. Yep, so take that piece, fold it down to the center line, good. Yep. And then we're gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. Alrighty, so once we get to this point, we're gonna fold our paper airplane in half, and we're gonna lay it like this in front of us. Yeah, good. Okay, and then we're just gonna do one more fold. We're gonna take it and kind of make like a little wing on each side. Good, great job. Okay, and then you're gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. Okay. Perfect. So when you unfold it all, you should get an airplane that looks like this, okay? And I think we're ready to have our paper airplane challenge. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Go Faith! You can do this! Oh, good try, good try. Okay, my turn. Let's see. I'm going for the 5. Oh! Let's go for the 5. All right, Faith, you're up. You're up. You got it. Oh, good. All right, I'm going for the 5 again. Oh. Let's go, Emma. All right, Josh, you got this. Let's go, let's go. Okay, so what did we learn about following instructions? Well, Faith didn't quite follow the directions, and she didn't quite have as much success as some of the other people who follow the directions. So just remember, God gives us directions, and it's super important that we make sure we follow them, okay? It helps us in life, it helps us to grow, and it helps us to treat other people the way that they should be treated. All right. If you want to win a prize, okay, which I know most of you probably do, all you have to do is take a picture of you doing Fun with Faith, which is the paper airplane contest. And you're just going to do hashtag Cactus Craze 2020, or you can email Pastor Julia, and so it's jbenwell@rockchurch.ca. So there's 2 ways you can enter if you don't have a ticket, okay? So make sure you take a picture of your paper airplane contest. We'd love to see the pictures. We hope you have a great day, and we hope you remember God loves you, and He gave us instructions to help us. All right, see you tomorrow.
Hi everyone, I'm Leanne, and I'm going to be doing craft with you this week. I'm so excited that you're joining us for Kids Camp. So, a couple of things that I want to mention to you guys is this lovely box that all your Kids Camp stuff came in. You're going to want to keep that for the week because we're going to be doing a special craft with that on Friday, so don't throw it away, and you can keep all your stuff in it through the week. All right, one other thing I want to mention is that because this is on YouTube, you can pause at any time if you need extra time to do your craft, and you can always go back and rewatch it if you need to see something again, okay? So don't forget that. All right, today is Monday, so what you're going to do is you're going to go into your kit, and you're going to get the baggie that says Monday on it, and this is our craft today. We're making a cactus wind chime. This is a sample of one that I did for you guys. You can see it's already done, been colored. All right, so there are a couple of things you're gonna need that aren't in your kit in order to do this. You're gonna need a few colors. So if you can, pause the video and go get yourself some green, okay, some markers, some crayons, whatever you have, maybe some color pencils, anything that you have. You can get that for coloring your cactus. Okay, you want to be careful when you take it out of the bag because these wind chimes can get a little tangled, so just be extra careful with those. And you'll notice that on one side there's a bit of a stamp there, so we're going to color on the other side today. All right, so lay that down flat. I chose to color my cactus green, okay? So I have 2 different color greens here that I'm going to start with, okay? And I'm going to section mine, kind of like what I did in the sample here. You can divide it up. Color in a few different shades of green. You might want to make a really funky cactus with sunglasses. You might want to put a hat on your cactus. You can have fun with it and decorate it however you like. All right. Take your time, do a nice job. You might want to hang this on the door to your bedroom. You might want to hang it outside where you can hear it because when the wind blows, it makes a beautiful, beautiful sound. You guys will really enjoy that. Now that you've done all that hard work and made your beautiful cactus wind chime, we want to see it. So what we want you to do is to send us pictures, and you can do that in 2 ways. You can send them to jbenwell@rockchurch.ca, or you can put them on Instagram with the hashtag Cactus Craze 2020, and you'll see that on the screen below. So send it to either one of those 2 places, and we'll be picking people for prizes, okay? So you'll be entered into a draw if you submit your pictures throughout the week. All right, guys, thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed making your wind chimes, and I'll see you next time.
Hey guys, we are so glad that you joined with us for Kids Camp today, day 1. And don't forget, we have to follow the instructions. Follow the instructions for your cactus because we want your cactus to live a long time, and follow God's instructions too. Well, today we want to end with some prizes. Even though we're not all together in the church, we can still do prizes. So I've got some tickets here, and you should have got a ticket in your shoebox. So look in the shoebox, see if you can find your ticket, and I'm going to pull out 3 numbers, and then if that's your number that I pulled out, I want you to email me at jbenwell@rockchurch.ca, and I'll tell you how to pick up your prize. Are you ready? Do you have your ticket there? If not, you can always go back and rewind and see it later. Okay, first ticket is 772987. So if you have that number, 772987, make sure you email me at jbenwell@rockchurch.ca because you won a prize. All right, let's try for another prize. This one is going to be 772818. 772818. And you'll see a picture of some of the prizes that we have. We have some great ones. We have some really cool cactus lanterns and all kinds of things. So you don't want to miss out on a chance to win a prize. 772818. And we'll draw one more. And this last one, let's see. This one is 772935. 772935. And if you're thinking, that's not fair, I didn't get a box and I don't have a ticket, don't worry, you can still get a box. All you have to do is call the church office, 902-864-3553, just to make sure we have enough left, and find it when we're open, and you can come down this afternoon and pick up your own box. And that way you'll get a cactus and a cactus pin and all the craft supplies. So don't worry, and there'll be a ticket in that box. So if you didn't get a chance to get one yet, you come on down this afternoon, but call the church first and make sure there is some. The other thing that we want you to do is send in your pictures. Don't forget, just like Leanne said at craft time, we're going to draw some prizes for some crafts and also for our Fun with Faith activities as well. So send in your pictures and we're going to draw more prizes for that. So even if you didn't have a ticket, you can still win a prize. And of course, we want you to invite your friends. We always want you to invite your friends for kids camp. So what you need to do is call or text your friends and tell them to watch online tomorrow morning. And if they want to register and get a box too, they can. So make sure you join us tomorrow morning at 9:30. We'll be looking for you. See you tomorrow.